started in Microsoft Excel. You open up Microsoft Excel by clicking on the icon on your desktop. Now, we've just installed Office 2013, and if we look to our desktop, sadly, they did not give us an Excel 2013 icon, so we're going to need to establish that icon on our desktop for easy access. We are using Windows 8. You might already have the icon, or you might be comfortable with going through your programs to launch Excel directly. If we go to our Windows 8 start screen though, we can do a quick search for Excel and it comes up right here. We just click on it to open it, but we want to create a desktop icon for it, and this is Windows 8, so to make that all easier, I'm going to right click on this icon and I'm going to say open up application, and then it gives us a bunch of icons here for Microsoft Office 2013. And I'm going to right click and drag this Excel 2013 icon onto the desktop, and I'm going to say create shortcut here. I'm going to put that right in the center. And that's what the Excel 2013 icon looks like. And we're going to double click on it to use it. It loads it up, and this is what we call the start screen. Now, on this start screen, which looks like this, on the left you'll see a dark green column that contains your recently opened files. Unfortunately, we haven't opened any workbooks recently, so there's nothing here in the list. That'll change over time as we create and add our spreadsheets, our workbooks. To the right, you'll see templates that you can use to start a new Excel workbook. You can also choose to open up a workbook as a blank workbook. You can take the tour of Excel here. And then these templates are interesting. They give you an idea of how you can use Excel. It kind of sparks the imagination of just what you can do with Excel. It's very clever that they did this in a very picture-oriented way. And it is kind of hard to believe, that you can do all this with Excel. You can do flow charts, you can do your schedules, graphs and charts and homework, tasks. It's great, really a lot. And clearly, a lot of people think of spreadsheets as not having just being numbers and data, but it clearly shows you that you can incorporate pictures and these beautiful pie charts. And really looks amazing. But we're going to open up a blank workbook, which is the first default item selected here, and we just click on that. And this is Excel 2013. This is what it's going to look like. Now, this is a brand new workbook, and the default name for the workbook is Book 1. It's right here, up here in the title bar, Book 1-Excel. By default, for each additional new workbook that you open, the name will increase by 1 digit. So another new blank workbook you open would be Book 2 and Book 3, and etc. And of course, if you start Excel by clicking on an already existing workbook on your computer and your hard drive, it will open automatically and your workbook will be displayed in the Excel window, and it will be titled whatever that workbook name is. So let's just take a little tour of the Microsoft Excel 2013 interface. Now here, to this right corner, as you can see, this is called the Quick Access Toolbar, which we can add and remove icons, commands here, and that's this little area in the upper left corner. This here, where it says Book 1-Excel, is the title bar, which we discussed earlier. This is the Help icon right here. Click on that, and we will load the Microsoft Excel Help. And you can search for help here. This button here is the ribbon display options button. So we can say auto hide ribbon, show tabs and command. This is the minimize button, which is common in all Windows. We click that to minimize it. And then we click this to expand it. This puts you into full screen, maximizes it, and this goes back to window screen. And this X here closes the workbook, or quits. And we're going to reopen that and do that. All right, so the other options here is, let's take a look at this lower corner here, and this is a zoom button. So you can zoom in on a specific, kind of enlarges the application actually. So let's just put some stuff here. Now we're going to just zoom that. That's what the zoom does. And then we can just zoom out like that. And there's different modes that we can view everything in. Here, this would be the normal mode, the page layout mode, and this is the page break preview. So let's go back to normal here, which is at 100%. All right, so let's go over a few terms here and locations of items. So we have the quick access toolbar right here, right? But below the quick access toolbar, we have what we call a ribbon. And the ribbon was first introduced in Office 2007. So if you're familiar with Office 2007 or Office 2010, we have what we call the ribbon, which is all of these items here, which includes all these commands and icons. Now the ribbon is divided up into tabs, and these tabs are also menus. So they're like the drop-down menus, but I guess we've kind of evolved from drop-down menus, and while there are still menus and submenus, as you can see here, this is kind of the evolution of it, where the menu is fuller and gives you quick access to elements that you want to use quickly. Ribbon is divided up into tabs, and these tabs are also menus. The tabs are Home, Insert, Page Layout, Formulas, Data, Review, and View. Depending on the edition that you're using, you could also have a tab called Developer. Below each tab are commands or tools that you can use. The commands or tools located beneath each tab relate to the tab. So for example, under the Page Layout tab, you would find tools to create a page layout, which is your margins, your orientation, your size, print area, page breaks, backgrounds, print titles, that sort of thing. That said, the tools under each tab are broken down into groups so that you can easily find what you need. So let's take a look at the Home tab, and you can see that we have groups here, and these groups within the Home tab are Clipboard, and then we have Font, Alignment, Number, Styles, Cells, and Editing. So here in the Styles group, which is under the Home tab of the Excel 2013 ribbon, we can do conditional formatting, format as tables, cell styles, that sort of thing. Same thing when we go to the alignment group here. These are all settings related to the alignment of your data, your text, or your numbers. Also, you'll notice these extra little arrows in the bottom right corner, which give you more options that are available that are not shown, such as we click there, we can get very specific with the details. This is all for formatting cells. And lastly, you may want to work with Excel 2013 on a tablet. And yes, you can do that if you have a tablet running Windows 8. If you're using Excel on a tablet, you can adjust the spacing between the buttons on the ribbon to make it easier to use. And this is because of some people may find that their fingers are a little bit too big to finally click on all of the buttons and options, and they end up clicking on the wrong thing or whatever because of the spacing, which it's a little tough to explain unless you actually have a tablet with Windows 8, and you can see that some of the menu items are very difficult to touch because the things that you have to select are too small for the finger, and you end up doing the wrong thing. So if you're using Excel on a tablet, you can adjust the spacing between the buttons on the ribbon to make it easier to use. You do this by activating touch mode. So to activate the touch mode, you want to click or touch the quick access toolbar button, which is up here. And you want to go to a touch mouse mode option, which you'll see right here. And now we can say, oh, do you want the mouse standard ribbon in commands, which is what we're currently looking at, or do you want to go to touch, more space between commands? So let's say more space between commands. You can see it completely widened out for us. And this is now optimized for a tablet. And if you want to go back to the version for PC mouse, then we just come here and select mouse version. And since we are currently working on a desktop, we are going to leave it on mouse mode.